Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And to start it off, we have some breaking news. G7 finance ministers support regulating cryptocurrencies. So, for the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about crypto regulation and how it's itching closer to a positive result. And specifically, Brian Brooks from the OCC said it was going to be taking 6 to 8 weeks. With this statement attached to it, I don't even think that sounds so crazy anymore. And I actually think that all these countries right now have the proper incentive to really start working towards it heavily and to fix their stuff and get us a proper regulatory framework. Now, more about regulation and other crypto news coming up, but we are giving away 250 XRP if we can get 1,500 likes within 24 hours. Make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below, as that's all you need to do to enter into our giveaway. Having said that, guys, let's move on here a little bit. I've been talking about governments entering into crypto because there's really no question in my mind that they are. But here is some cooler stuff about the regulation, and something was said in a recent video conference. This was said: there is a strong support across the G7 on the need to regulate digital currencies. Ministers and governments reiterated support for the G7 joint statement on digital payments issued in October. The meeting, which included outgoing U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, touched upon fending off the illegal use cases of digital assets. And all I find with this is just another confirmation that stuff is coming. And I guess a good start to all of this was, first of all, the statement coming out from Coinbase about these self-custodied cryptos, even though I actually think that this is true as well, what they say here, that Bitcoin nosedived after Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong spilled some beans about a crackdown of those wallets. I actually think that that might be a case. I do think it's a positive thing that he came out with that, because otherwise a lot of us wouldn't have known, and it's a pretty big thing for crypto, and specifically on the regulatory side, it's a very big step forward. Another one, of course, is the Stable Act, which just came out, which people have just introduced, which is another, I'm going to say actually step backwards, but for crypto regulation, it's a step forward because they are regulating the stuff, though, or albeit a very negative regulation. Ripple CEO says XRP is a multi-asset capable when liquidity is lacking in target market. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse explains in an interview that other digital assets beside XRP can actually be used on the XRP ledger. The great potential and benefit of XRPL lies in its ability to move any type of asset quickly and inexpensively across national borders. You know, there's a couple of things you need to understand when you're talking about XRP, and one of them is that there's actually not only one single thing that exists, right? It's not like XRP is the only thing involved in XRP ledger, if you start to think about it that way. Because the vision that Ripple has, the Internet of Value, you guys know as well as I do that eventually everything is supposed to be able to be done on there, right? I have another article open here just now in which we'll talk a little bit more about voting in that sense, because that's also one of the things that the Internet of Value is standing for. And even though I think most people that hold XRP already know that you can send Bitcoin over the XRP ledger if you wanted to, it's very important to know that it's just the start of what is being possible, and that's also why a lot of people are so excited about Spark, since Spark is yet another spark, pun intended, of hope for people that they're going to be expanding. Again, that XRP ledger has a lot more purposes than meet the eye, which is true. Simplex launches banking service for fiat crypto conversions. Crypto players can tap this service from Simplex Partner Network members, and let's scroll down a little bit. Israel-based Simplex, a payment solution provider, announced on Monday the launch of banking services, allowing platforms to offer crypto buying and selling services using fiat. Dubbed Simplex Banking, the new service can be used by digital currency exchanges, wallets, or any other platforms that are willing to offer fiat crypto conversions. And Simplex detailed that the new banking service is a mainstream user-friendly approach to the widely used on-ramp and off-ramp services. It will offer one-click deposit services for large purchase amounts and will generate personal IBAN, or IBAN, I don't know how you guys say it in English, for every user. So, At first, the first time I read this, I thought, okay, not really interesting. The second time I read about it, I should say, I was like, okay, that's pretty damn cool. The third time I thought about, what are the connections to XRP Ripple? And the fourth time I saw it, which is today, I'm like, damn, these guys are good. Why? Because they're actually taking away another big issue in the banking realm, which is that things can be difficult to get and things can be kind of separated and stuff like that. In this case here, they're bringing everything together. And a lot of this bringing together stuff is happening right now as Bittrex, a Ripple partner, mind you, has also launched a tokenized stock trading option. Tesla, Apple, and 10 other stocks are now available to trade. And those lines between cryptocurrency and traditional investments are really closing in, and the line between traditional banking and cryptocurrencies, or I should actually say distributed ledger technology, are also getting closer and closer, as of course we got CBDCs, which are partially replacing the traditional banking, or at least are an addition to it, I should officially say. But if you guys get the bigger picture behind all of this, or think about what's actually happening right here, it's pretty damn crazy, right? It's pretty damn crazy what's going on. If I think about it, at least. So, like, everything is coming together. This is, of course, coming along with the G7 article that we just saw, but in a couple stronger words, Treasury Secretary Mnuchin says there's a strong support to regulate digital currencies. So even though in the G7 joint statement on digital payments in October, it was already being said, and right now they just kind of confirmed it, in their own words, they reiterated support for it. It's very important to know that this is the stance, right? There is strong support to regulate digital currencies. It is coming. Brian Brooks from the OCC said 6 to 8 weeks. It is coming. We've been waiting for it for so long, but 2021 is going to be the year. Now, how good will they be? Will they be strong and steady and bad? We don't really know exactly what's going to be coming. And I could even sketch a couple of cases in which if you are not that happy with paying a lot of taxes, that the regulatory clarity can be bad, because it may be so that you're going to have to pay a lot more tax if they regulate it properly. It's definitely possible. Or even that things are going to get a lot more difficult with those self-custody wallets we just talked about. However, knowing what you're up against is a very important part, and you can actively decide then to switch countries if it's going to save you hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially, right? I've sometimes sketched a picture of if you can cash out, let's say $100 million in XRP, or let's say $10 million in XRP, and you want to be done. If in the US, that cash out is going to cost you $3 million, and in a different country, the cash out is going to cost you maybe like $100,000 or even nothing, I personally don't think the switch is hard to make, where you'll just, get out of the country and maybe just stay there for a little while until you get all your money sorted and then come back. Because I think for a lot of us, the plan anyway is to just live the dream life you always wanted, right? With all your money that you got. And it's not to just live the life you're currently having and pay a lot of freaking tax. I personally think, $3 million is worth moving over for a little bit. But again, everybody has their own opinion. Maybe you just want to stay in your hometown here and, any money is welcome. Could also be, everybody has different goals. I just personally think that a lot of people may switch countries if these regulations come in, because they'll definitely tax the crap out of you. And how much, we'll notice. It could also be that it's going to get way less. Can also be, I'm hoping for that, but at least we'll know what we'll be worth, which is an important part of it all. And of course, a lot of these crypto companies can innovate more, which in turn, even though they may be higher taxed, which again is completely arbitrary. I don't know if it'll be higher tax. It just depends on how things are going to be arranged. Ultimately, it's still going to be beneficial as crypto companies will thrive, and ultimately that's going to be more money in returns for us anyway. Edward Snowden confirms he was right about Bitcoin. The NSA whistleblower inferred to his 4 million Twitter followers that he called Bitcoin's bottom in March. America's most notorious whistleblower, I don't know, is he the most notorious? I don't know about that. Maybe he is. Edward Snowden pointed out today, in his own way, that he's called Bitcoin's bottom in March. And this comes as Bitcoin's price remains above 19,000, nearly the highest it's ever been. He tweeted, Bitcoin was about 5K, showcasing how far it has come since his initial tweet. He said, this is the first time in a while I felt like buying Bitcoin. That drop was too much panic and too little reason. So the thing is, these types of tweets are always attention. Because if you, for example, check out the Discord link down below, you'll notice we've talked about a 1 cent VeChain, a $4,000 Bitcoin, a $3,000 Bitcoin, and even if you scroll a lot back, even a $2,000 Bitcoin. The thing is, though, you can always say, yeah, I'm buying. And if you take it out of context, I'll always be a freaking god for knowing it, right? Or when we were talking about maybe like 20 cent, nah, I think it's even lower. I don't know when we started the Discord, maybe somewhere in the middle of 2017. I don't know exactly what the XRP price was at. Let me quickly check it out here. If we go for all, let's go for the start of 2017 when I might have started the Discord. Let's say we started the Discord in February. I don't know exactly when I started it. It could be that we were talking about a pre-1 cent XRP. All right, doesn't mean I was a god for knowing it, or doesn't mean that we were gods for kind of betting on it. It could also be that I talked about XRP starting in March. I don't quite remember, right? It was somewhere in the beginning of 2017. The point is, though, if he had made 15 tweets and he just picked one of them, it's not that special. And that's why I never credit these types of guys. However, on the contrary, if he just made one tweet and that was it, it's kind of cool that he knew it so well, right? It's kind of cool that he tweeted it out and was that lucky. Or maybe he knew more than we did. I personally don't think so, though. I think it was just kind of a lucky move. Because, I mean, Bitcoin went down with some severity, and it wasn't really without reason, I personally found. Because then you can also say the stock market dipped without reason, which is not true, because there was a freaking pandemic going on. The only strange thing I found was that it should have been so that the dollar and all assets should have went down where Bitcoin went up. And since that wasn't the case, yeah, okay, I kind of feel as if it wasn't properly backed, where XRP and Bitcoin and stuff like that should have gone up. But on the contrary, it could also be that people are just not eager to invest right now because they need the money. So taking it out of Bitcoin, which is money but can go down, is not that strange of an idea either. So I think it was properly backed. I don't completely agree with the tweet, but I see where he's trying to come from. Just wanted to say, guys, don't trust stuff like that. Also, by the way, if there's somebody in the comment section claiming to be me or saying or telling you to text a number, it is definitely not me. And I'm going to try always put it in the comment section right now that you should not react to people claiming that they're me and asking you to text a number, because I'll never ask you to text a number, all right? Just know it from now on. I will never ask you to text a number so somebody's trying to scam you, all right? Report those things and try persuade them to, I don't know, maybe report themselves. Just, you can mess around with them, but do not send them any money, please. There are three major drivers behind XRP's bullish price action. Exchange is supporting Spark airdrop to XRP holders, while Ripple is excited about Flare Network. So this title had me intrigued, right? If they're putting up something like that, I want to know exactly what three things they're talking about. And I personally only notice here two major things with kind of three sub things being in there, with Flare being number one, and a potential burn, which David Schwartz talked about, being a number two. Personally, I don't see any third one. I don't really know exactly what he's talking about. I think he meant Flare in two different ways, Flare/Spark, because in this case here, they're talking about the Spark support that's changing right now, and the announcement coming up, or the specific date coming up soon. And here at the bottom, they're talking about that the CEO, so Barry Gunleyhouse, is excited about Flare, which can be seen as two different things, because here is like free airdrop, free money. And this case here is development on XRP, which you can see as two different things. The last one, a burn, though, is something we shouldn't also be too excited over anymore. It was cool for one day. The thing is, it took away from me one of the biggest issues with Ripple, where they had control over it, whatever we wanted, right? They had control over it, even though we might have not wanted it, but I kind of noticed later on that that wasn't the case. They didn't have control over it had we not wanted to. They only have it right now because we choose. And that's something I was assured by. On the contrary, even if we had the power, we shouldn't let them burn the XRP, because that would be very detrimental to the whole project. Then the rich are starting to consider Bitcoin, Bloomberg reports. Stuff like this I'm always excited about, and I can just, I get like those happy little moments when you're just sitting and you're like, damn, I feel good. That's what I have when I read this type of stuff. The wealthy are considering buying Bitcoin with minor portfolio allocations as Bitcoin becomes more compelling. A little bit later, I'll be talking about Kevin O'Leary, as he's also getting into crypto himself right now. At least he was even planning about allocating 5% or so of his capital. He just posted. We'll talk about it a little bit later. But stuff like this gets me so excited, man. You don't even want to know. I like reading this type of stuff. You can show me this any day and I'll be happy. But yeah, that's also possibly because we've just been waiting on this for so long, and We know the fundamentals are there. And by the way, whenever I'm talking about Bitcoin in the sense of investing, I'm always talking about Bitcoin as a start, with eventually these huge amounts of capital moving over into altcoins, but they mostly start with Bitcoin. But yeah, I'm very happy to see that. Here they're talking about some specific cases of people who have talked about an allocation. We know though that a 1 to 5% allocation is not that strange, and a lot of huge guys will be doing it. So with that in mind, I think all these prices are just juicy. I've told you guys before, I'm buying some crypto every single day, even if prices go down by minus 15, even if they go up by minus or plus 15, I'm just buying every single day. And yet the rich are holding, and they're hoarding, guys. Keep it in mind. And then I just wanted to end it off here with, in my opinion, 589 end of the year. I think it's January 13th, Rubber Ducky Day, as hinted by BearableGuy123 and DS. End of year using the Gregorian calendar plus 13 of the Julian is January 13th, ducks lined up. Loop, Mr. Pool also has the date in his @reversed 113. I do expect a rise between then and now, and all I can say is damn. Do you guys still like this type of stuff? If you do, damn, that's all I can say. Guys, make sure you check out the Discord. Make sure you check out the links down below, like, for example, Webull and Unstoppable Domains. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video.